Why, hello everybody. My name is Jason. Welcome to Redfish Bluefish. This is the channel where we examine art, nature, and science through the lens of the aquarist. First of all, I want to thank everybody for all the love and the kindness that's been coming to me today by way of phone calls, by way of Facebook messages, and in chat. And I wanted to send it right back to you guys and wish each and every one of you a fantastic Happy New Year day. The first day of 2021. I really feel quite positive about this coming year. I know here at Redfish Bluefish, we're gonna have a lot of really cool, really great stuff coming up for me, for you, for everybody. But I have a bit of a confession. It was inadvertent. I started getting messages first thing this morning, and I had a heck of a day. I've been super busy today. And I did something today that I never ever have time to do. And that was this. I took a nap, and it was glorious. It was like a three and a half hour nap. I know I'm gonna pay for it tonight because I won't be sleeping. But why is the nap mention worthy? Why am I even mentioning a nap? Well, because that is the reason why just now I am finally getting around to making a confession to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for the happy birthday wishes. It's not my birthday. And I blame Zuckerberg for that. Apparently, I set, another confession. I never, ever, ever give my actual date of birth to any social media company, and definitely not to Facebook, right? So you gotta put a date of birth in there for this stuff. And I definitely set the settings, my Facebook privacy settings, to not like show date of birth, to inform anyone, anything like that. So confession number one. Confession number two, January 1st is definitely not my date of birth. It's not my birthday. So thank you so much for all the phony birthday wishes. You guys are awesome. I love you. But yeah, absolutely not my birthday. And I blame Facebook for telling everybody in the world that it is, in fact, my birthday. It's not. But I won't give you my actual date of birth, right? My DOB for obvious reasons. But I will let you guys figure it out. You can figure out the month and the day. Here we go. And then we'll move on with the show. I share a birth date, a day of birth rather, with two famous people. The first one made black and white movies, really freaky movies. He's not alive anymore. People called him the master of suspense. He did some really creepy movies. He did some really stabby in the shower movies, those kinds of movies. Almost all of them black and white. He had a creepy thing for birds, okay? That's all the hints you need. That's hint number one. I have a date of birth that I share with that guy. Second clue, I also share the same month and day with a certain, some people in this country would call him a dirty commie dictator, and good thing he's gone because he's not with us anymore. Other people would call him the father of an entire nation. He has a beard. He had a beard, I should say. He had a beard, and he really liked cigars. So there are your two hints. You guys can figure it out super easy. Okay. Without further delay, let's jump right in and do the first top 10 early birds of 2021. And we have some new placers, I think, at least in the top 10. First place this time goes to EJ Fishes 76. EJ Fishes, you take first place, my friend. Congratulations. Second place goes to Jeffrey Watts. Jeffrey, congrats, man. Third place goes to Natural Aquariums. Congratulations, my friend. Fourth place goes to Mainly Bettas. Mainly Bettas, you rock. Congratulations on taking fourth place. Fifth place goes to a very dear friend of mine, total sweetheart, Mary Paige Flynn. Mary Paige Flynn, welcome to the winner's circle. You take fifth place. Sixth place goes to the enigmatic S. S is all you need to know. S is all it is. S, congratulations. Seventh place goes to Vinoxky Tanks. Vinoxky, congratulations, my friend. Eighth place goes to Dragon Lair. Dragon Lair, congratulations on taking eighth place. Ninth place goes to Aquaballs. George Aquaballs takes ninth. Congratulations, George. And 10th place goes to Fish Ion Tanctics. Fish Ion Tanctics, Congratulations. Fish Ion wraps it up with a 10th place placing thing. Guys, if you didn't make the top 10, not to worry at all. I love you all the same. Just show up a little bit early next time and you'll probably get right in. So, what are we talking about this live stream? Okay, so mainly we're gonna kind of kick the subject of fish nutrition around and DIY fish foods. But before we do that, I'm going to do a little bit of an update for you guys, a shop update / website update kind of combo package. Before I do that, let me switch over to the correct window so I can actually see chat. Right, so a shop and website update. So we are going to be opening up for business again, at least in terms of our online website. And we're going to be doing it next Friday. Not this Friday, not today, basically, but a week from today, Friday next week. And I decided that since we've been shut down for actually more than a month because of the Christmas rush and because of the logistical nightmare that was this December for the Postal Service as well as FedEx, UPS, everyone was getting crushed. So we were shut down for quite a while to ring in the bell, turn everything back up. Not only are we going to turn the website back up next Friday, we're also going to do next Friday our second ever pressure hour. Now you guys remember what pressure hour is. Pressure hour is basically during that hour-long live stream and during that hour-long live stream only, I'll throw out a code at the beginning of the show. And you have to use it before that show ends because when the show ends, that code won't work anymore at all. Now, what is the code going to get you? What kind of cool deals? What kind of cool treats? You're going to have to show up next Friday and find out. No hints, guys, no hints. So that's basically the update I had for you guys. We're going to be opening it back up again. Got some great fish. The website, we actually did a lot of work on the website. I don't know if any of you guys have logged into it recently. We've greatly improved the navigation system. The navigation system was very annoying. I was not a huge fan of it. You had to click something and there was rendering problems. We also, on top of that, we also had some issues with some funky CSS style, cascading style sheets. Were rendering things odd. Wasn't what I was looking for. So we did a lot of work on the website, basically pulled it down for about a full day, almost a full day, and did some coding, busted out some stuff, used some secondary, some better photographs, images, things like that. So check it out, guys. I think the website is a lot better. It certainly navigates a lot better. It's a lot more responsive now, and I think the navigation system is going to be a lot better for you guys. So that is basically the update that I had. Now, I want to actually, you know what? We'll get into another little shop update here in a bit, but I want to get right in, and before I start talking about DIY fish foods, I'm not an expert on DIY fish foods. I haven't really made too many of them. But I want you guys that are in this live stream now to jump into chat, and please share with everybody in chat your experiences with your own DIY fish foods. Now, when I say DIY fish foods, I'm not talking, about that you have this big industrial strength evaporator or whatever, and you're actually making your own fish flakes and that sort of thing. No, I'm not talking about it to that level. DIY fish foods, if you think about it, they're really as simple as brine shrimp, hatching your own brine shrimp. I mean, let's be honest, it's DIY and it's fish food, right? So that's a DIY fish food. You could be raising your own vinegar eels, right? That's a really great source of protein for a lot of fish. So I'd like you guys to jump in and share in chat with everybody in chat what you do for your own DIY fish food, if you are doing DIY fish food at all. Paul Saltero there with a comment there. DIY fish food, BBS, yes, baby brine shrimp, easily that probably I would say it's got to be the most the most popular and prevalent DIY fish food that people use at home. And there's not a whole lot better than it for baby fish, baby fry, even small nano fish that are being kind of picky. It's very, very high in fat, really high in fat. It's got some good vitamins to it. It's got some good nutrition. It's not the perfect food, that's for certain. It's really rich. It's a really rich food. So it's really good for baby fish, for fry, who need a lot of fat, who need a lot of high calorie input so they can grow as quickly as possible. So baby brine shrimp is great for that. It's also a fantastic treat for your adult fish. I would not recommend feeding exclusively BBS, of course, and I don't think anyone in here is doing that. I'm seeing a lot of comments. I'm gonna jump way up, and we have a comment here from Peplin Creek Aquatics. Peplin Creek Aquatics asks, does growing green beans and zucchini count? Well, of course. Yeah, why not? I mean, if you grow your own zucchini and your green beans and you you're treating your plecos or whatever to it, absolutely. Why wouldn't it count, man? They're really good foods. And Geek Boy here with a comment. Closest thing to DIY fish food, DIY brine shrimp hatchery in 2-liter bottles. That's nothing wrong with that. That is exactly how I hatched brine shrimp growing up. 2-liter bottle, air stone. That's it. That was it. You just got to keep up with it because that stuff really reeks once they start dying. A comment here from Aquaballs. Yes, Aquaballs. We're going to get to that. I did a beef heart shrimp fish mix one time for my discus. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to get into some DIY carnivore mix, and we're going to get into a DIY a vegetarian mix for fish here in a little while. We'll talk a little bit about it. It's really simple. Jeeps and Things suggests chicken fried steak and barbecue for his guppies. Okay, we can give it a try. It's pretty expensive to feed guppies that well, man. Yes, W. Marion, looks like there's still some on the floor. Yes, yes. We have been moving stuff around and putting on second coats and working on stuff here and there. And yeah, it's still a bit of a mess in here, but we're making pretty quick progress on some other things. I really can't share those other things just yet, so forgive me for that. Fish Eye on Tanktix here. Wow, that's pretty fancy, man. That's awesome. Fish Eye on Tanktix says he feeds his fish fruit flies and fruit fly larvae. That's awesome. Yeah, that is a really good source of nutrition for fish, no question about it. Bugs are way up there, insects are. Terry's Tropical Tanks mentions boiled egg yolks. Yep, absolutely. Tropico mentions microworms. Yes, absolutely. Microworms, vinegar eels, all that stuff is awesome. Alyssa Bentley here. Best thing, bucket or bin of dirty tank water outside sitting equals mosquito larvae. Scoop them out with a net every other day and everyone loves it. That's a good idea as well. That's a great idea. I'm not sure if you're going to get too many mosquito larvae this time of year because it's pretty chilly, but that's good thinking. You just got to make sure to net them out. Otherwise, they're going to hatch and they're going to feast on you. All right, I think I'm kind of caught up. Yeah, so DIY fish foods. Why would anybody think at all of like create your own fish food? I mean, you just order it, right? Well, not everybody, lives in an area where it's super easy to get packages. There are a lot of really remote places in the country where, it's hit or miss getting packages. You might order stuff from, Amazon.com or whatever, and you might have a constant problem with stuff not making it to you. A lot of people in the country have that problem. Another problem that a lot of people have, oops, let me fix this camera, guys. Little technical hiccup, apologies. Another problem that a lot of people have is they might not live anywhere near even a big box store where they can buy food. They might not live anywhere near even a mom and pop shop where they can get halfway decent food. I don't know, like Tetra, Hikari, whatever. So those are some reasons why people might need to might need to start DIYing some of their own fish food. There are a couple of recipes that I've kicked around, and they seem to be pretty good. One of them I want to talk about, I kind of took from the internet and kind of tweaked it a little bit. I don't think I've ever come across anyone that's using a pretty decent source of, well, I want to say protein, but it's a decent source for everything. It's considered it's actually considered more than a superfood. It's considered a complete food. So one thing I'll throw out there for you guys, there's a recipe for vegetarian, like vegetarian fish that are primarily herbivores. It's 1 pound of frozen peas, you cook it. It's 1 pound of quinoa cooked. Quinoa, I don't know if you guys know what it is. It's there, you know, people call it a grain. It's not really a grain, it's a seed is what it is. But quinoa is the complete food that I was mentioning, the superfood. It's packed with tons of vitamins, amino acids, fats, healthy fats, protein. It's really high in protein. Basically, when you hear people in the media talk about a complete food, what they're really saying is, and I'm not saying that you would enjoy the experience, but what they're really saying is you can live on quinoa. Nothing else. I'm not saying that it would be a fantastic experience for you eating nothing but quinoa for the rest of your life, but you could absolutely do it. So let me get back to the recipe. You take basically 1 pound of frozen peas, you cook them, 1 pound of quinoa, you cook it, and you add 1 tablespoon of spirulina, 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh garlic, and 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Cornstarch is a thickening agent, and you put it all in a blender, and you blend it up, like big time, just blend it up. And what you then do is a couple of things. Pardon me. If you're gonna use it in a short period of time, you can put it in a Tupperware container and snap the lid on and just put it in the fridge. That would be no problem at all. It would keep for quite some time, an easy week. You can keep it for an easy week before it starts to go. But more often than not, what people will do is get an ice cube tray, you know, for making ice cubes, and plop the food in that and throw it in the freezer, and it will keep for a long, long time. That's the most common way that people store DIY food. A less common way, but certainly a way that's probably going to keep the longest, is if you get one of those kitchen food dehydrators. There's a number of models. Now, all of them, I don't think any of them are designed to hold liquid, or I guess would be kind of a thick paste, because the floors of them are kind of like screens, you know, to allow air to flow through it. But what you can do, if you have a kitchen food dehydrator, you can put your food that you just basically pureed into mush, you can put that into the same ice cube trays. Just don't put too much in each one, right? Get multiple ice cube trays. And pack those into your food dehydrator and turn that sucker on and just walk away. Come back in, 4 or 6 hours and check them. You'll notice that the dehydrator does a great job, even though the food is technically inside those plastic ice cube trays. Has no problem evaporating that food down. Now, if you do that, you take the time to do that, you can store that without a refrigerator or without any kind of freezer, and it will keep quite a bit longer. So to go over that again, it's 1 pound of frozen peas, you cook it. It's 1 pound of quinoa, you cook that. 1 tablespoon of spirulina, 1 tablespoon of freshly chopped garlic, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Throw all that together, you puree it really good. Just puree it really well, and you can freeze it, you can dehydrate it, you can keep it in the fridge if you're not going to use it too long. Now, before I move forward, let's talk a little bit about garlic. Garlic. Why do you see garlic in so many prepared commercial foods? Why did I just suggest putting garlic into, I'm just catching up here, sorry guys. Why did I just suggest putting garlic into this DIY, vegetarian, basically vegetarian food? What's the deal with garlic? Well, I don't know how many fishermen we have in here. I enjoy fishing quite a bit. I really enjoy angling. And I know that I do have some subscribers who have channels, fishing-related channels. I know that Catfish Terry's a fisherman. A lot of people fish. And you'll notice a lot of prepared baits have garlic in them, or at least garlic scent in them. Why? Fish are attracted to garlic. A lot of fish really like the way that garlic tastes. That is why, for instance, if you do any rainbow trout fishing up here, sitting from the bank or from a boat, whatever, and you're using a Carolina rig on your pole, a real common commercial pre-prepared bait, artificial bait to use up here is something from a company named Berkeley. It's called Power Eggs. Power Eggs are, about the size of a salmon egg, basically. You can get them in different colors. There's totally man-made. It's not actually food, but one of the one of the best ones I've ever used is the garlic flavored one. So I started doing some research, and it's true. Fish love garlic. You have a hard time finding fish that aren't somewhat attracted to garlic. Now, just the flavor is not the reason why we use garlic. Garlic has some seriously beneficial properties to it for us, for fish, for a lot of living things. First of all, it's for thousands of years, it's been considered to be just a general blood tonic. And that's very true. It is a blood tonic. It stimulates a lot of liver function, stimulates a lot of metabolic functions that tend to help clear out toxins from our blood. So that's definitely one that has, that's a good point in the corner for garlic. Another thing that I don't know if a lot of people know about this, garlic is really, really good at aiding digestion. It's really good for us. It's really good for fish. And a lot of times, some of these prepared foods, these commercial foods that go into the ingredients that go into fish flakes and fish pellets and that sort of thing. I'm going to be honest with you guys. A lot of the ingredients, they're not horrible, but they're also not top notch. I mean, they're not putting caviar in fish food, right? They're not putting foie gras in fish food. They put fish meal in fish food. A lot of times fish meal is mainly heads and guts, right? It's byproduct. So with that said, I just wanted to touch let me catch up with something here. So I had to pop up on my screen. Pardon me, guys. Anyway, I wanted to touch on that. A lot of times, a lot of these fish foods that we feed our fish aren't necessarily made with the creme de la creme of ingredients. Yes, they're nutritious. Yes, they're healthy. That is another reason why garlic is added to fish food. It helps the fish's digestion deal with this stuff that they're eating. So I'm going to jump into chat and scroll up. We're already a half hour through this. I can't believe how quickly the time is flying. We've got a lot of comments here about garlic. A lot of people like garlic. That's awesome. We got a comment here from HC Aqua. You mean dehydrators make other things other than beef jerky? Yes, they do, Jesse. But I do love me some beef jerky. That is some good stuff. Let me just do a quick scroll and see if I have missed anything. Hey, Larry D's Tanks and More. Hey, right back at you, buddy. Please, guys, remember if you have a question or a comment specifically for me, please try to remember to @Redfish Bluefish in chat. Helps it stand out. Helps me not to miss it. Yes, I'm seeing a lot of comments here about garlic. Yes. So let me scroll back down here, and we will move right on ahead. Oh, well, thank you so much, Mainly Betta. That's very kind of you. Love the RFBF streams. That's very kind of you. So another recipe I'll share with you guys. It's pretty easy. It's 50-50. Half a pound of some kind of whitefish, right? It could be tilapia. It could be, if you find a really good deal on catfish. I mean, I love eating deep fried catfish. It's one of my favorite things in the world to eat. But maybe you're in the grocery store and there's some catfish, like catfish fillets or something on clearance, and it looks a little, I don't know if I want to eat that, but this is the last day of it. pick some of that up, tilapia, catfish, any kind of white fish. I wouldn't go with any canned fish, simply because canned fish is really bad about picking up metals from the cans, unless the cans are lined with plastic. And even then, you know, tilapia is real cheap, man. So is catfish. Yes, Tropico. Catfish. So anyway, 50% some kind of white fish, half a pound, and 50% beef heart, half a pound, right? So 50-50. You have a pound of meat. So it's beef heart and whitefish. You don't need to really chop up the whitefish or anything, but you do need to kind of cleave the beef heart into not large chunks, because beef heart's pretty tough. And you can add a touch of your favorite shellfish if you want. Now, a really good shellfish to add, if you can find it cheap enough, is any kind of clam. Clams are going to be like crack to fish. Any kind of carnivorous fish is going to go nuts if you put just a touch of any kind of clams in there. Again, I wouldn't really recommend going with a canned clam, because, I mean, if you've ever eaten clams out of a can, you can pick up on the metallic taste right away. I'm not a big fan of them. So just a little bit of some kind of fresh clam if you want, just a touch. It's gonna really turn the fish on even more. And once again, 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh garlic, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Again, with the cornstarch. Cornstarch is gonna bind it together. With your DIY foods, if you don't go with some kind of a binder, like a cornstarch or something like that, potato starch is even better. It's more expensive, it's Japanese, but if you have some laying around, that stuff's even better than cornstarch. But some kind of starch to bind the food together, because if you don't do that, what's likely going to happen is you're going to add a little bit of food, whether it's your vegetarian mix or your carnivorous mix, or maybe a 50-50 mix of both, which is what you do for your omnivores, right? If it's a fish that likes meat, likes vegetables, a little bit of everything, guppies, mix them together, right? 50-50. But anyway, if you don't add some kind of a starch to either one of these recipes, when you add it to your water, it's going to cloud your water. It's not going to bind together, and it'll come apart real easy and go everywhere. And, you know, the cloudiness isn't forever. It'll clear up with a halfway decent sponge filter, for crying out loud. But if you add just a little bit of some kind of a binding agent, like cornstarch, like potato starch, it'll stick together, and it won't make your water quite so nasty. So, so anyway, after you mix those together, you would just pulse it with a blender. You can make it as fine or as coarse as you need to, you know, depending on the species of fish that you're working with. So I'm trying to see if I have any specific comments. You got a comment from Rocco's Fish Room. I use my dehydrator to dehydrate my super hot peppers, then I make pepper powders. Yikes. Yikes. No, I love spicy hot food, but man, as I've gotten a little bit older, I just can't tolerate them like I used to. I can go light on them and still enjoy them, but if I go crazy, ooh. I can't hang with Larry D. I cannot do that. I am no longer a chili head, unfortunately. Comment here from Dragon Lair says, a lot of new research says beef heart is bad for fish. Tell us more, Dragon Lair. It's very, very lean. Dragon Lair's, a follow-on comment from Dragon Lair. It's supposed to cause fatty liver. Well, I haven't read that. That's surprising to me, because beef heart is extremely lean. It's like 6% fat, which is less fat than most prepared commercial foods, like flake foods and stuff. Flake foods have fat, certainly less fat than baby brine shrimp, which is mostly fat. Delicious fat anyways. Yeah, I actually hadn't heard that, but I appreciate you sharing, Dragon Lair. I'll look into that. I know that I saw a comment from Aquaballs that he had fed or feeds beef heart from time to time, probably for some of his cichlids. I would imagine Big J over at Big J's Fish Keepers probably has some experience with beef heart as well, with all the massive monster fish he keeps and the cichlids and what have you. Angling and Aquatics asks, redfish, bluefish, do you dehydrate or freeze your quinoa? Freeze. I don't actually have a food dehydrator anymore. I owned one for a while. I haven't had one for a while. I think it's dehydrating your DIY foods is actually a really great idea. I would like to experiment a little bit more with it and see if I can come up with some superfoods, you know, and dehydrate them down and keep them in dry storage and see how well they do. Because, you know, you got to admit, I mean, things like your standard whitefish, tilapia, that's pretty cheap stuff. You can get quite a bit of it for not very much money. Beef hearts, you know, whether you are for or against beef hearts is, you know, we'll leave that out of it. But, you know, ingredients like that, quinoa's pretty cheap. It swells up when you cook it. It makes a lot. You can make a lot of food for pretty darn cheap compared to how much you and I spend. I'm just as guilty as anyone else, as much as you and I spend on prepared commercial foods. So that's something I definitely want to get more into. So let me see if I can switch the camera around, and I'll show you guys a little bit of a shop update. Don't have much going on. Maybe we can look at some fish. How about that? Fish is good. All right, so we've got our backup camera, and now let me just switch the old camera. There we go. All right. So guys, I want to show you what a mess it still is. Got all kinds of stuff everywhere. Actually, what I really want to show you is not so much the mess. I'm going to look at some fish, maybe some scrimps. But I kind of want to show you guys, scoot some of this stuff out of the way, kind of show you where we're going with this. Here are the tanks that you're familiar with. These are 2 75 gallons and 4 75 gallons and 2 40 breeders. You guys have seen these before. These are the Manakapuru Super Red Angels, absolute beauties. I've got their light turned down pretty low. That red is starting to definitely come in. It will be no time now, and they will be super, super red. Anyway, so these are the 240 breeders that you're familiar with, and then these 4 75 gallons all alongside this wall. So what we're doing is we're adding another row here. It's going to go out to about right there. And then on the other side of it, another row. So these tanks are facing this way, and obviously those tanks are facing that way. So this is going to be an over and under 40 breeder, 40 breeder, 40 breeder, 40 breeder, 40 breeder, 40 breeder, and then we're going to have a betta station here. And then I'll walk over and show you guys what these racks look like. We're going to have 5 of these in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll all be affixed together on the back side, and we will of course affix this rack with this rack all the way down. So there will be absolutely no chance of those things coming over. It'll be like trying to knock over a mountain. So yeah, a little bit of an update there. Well, more of a shop update than anything else, not so much a website update. Sorry it's such a wreck in here, but you can see we've got all kinds of racks, more tanks added. Got the 2 replacements in for the ones that were busted. I had to put down, I think, already 3 or 4 coats on these guys. We've just had a heck of a time trying to get every little last speck of light blocked out on all these tanks. I don't know why, but we finally won. So we've got all these blacked out, and there's one over there that had a little bit of wetness left on it, so we're just letting these chill. So yeah, this is all going to come out, and right there. So that will bring the total aquariums for fish and livestock to 60. 60 aquariums. All right, guys, just to remind you, I cannot see chat when I've got my phone like this. Let's check these guys out. We got some blue diamond head neon tetras. I love these little guys. Shiny, shiny. And everybody enjoys a guppy party, right? These are the blue Hawaiian Moscow guppies. And there's even more babies in here now. Tons and tons. More have been exploding. They're probably, I don't know, there's got to be 50, more than 50 in here. These guys are very, very excited. They've eaten plenty today. Don't let their begging fool you. These guppies are not tortured. They are not going hungry. All right, let's check these guys out. These are actually, right now, my favorite Apisto. These are Apistogramma hung slowei. Apistogramma hung slowei. There we go. I knew I could get that out. Really, really striking fish. That bright kind of pink red belly just gets me every time. That little mask that they have, that really subtle little mask. Very social little dudes. They're not at all shy. And of course, next door, the Joneses, we've got some trifasciata. Apistogramma trifasciata. Uh-oh. We got a little bit of a turf war going on, looks like. Oh well. You guys are going to have to work it out amongst you. I think these guys are probably crashed out. Yeah. These are the Rotkeel's red-shouldered Severums. Yeah, I see one peeking out around the corner, way back there. He's like, dude, turn the light off. It is late. Check out some of these guys. We'll let you guys enjoy the nice, aggressive blue Galeris killifish, and I'll pop back over and see if I've missed anything in chat. Oh yes, I know how it is. At Peplin Creek Aquatics, the comment there, going down the Apisto rabbit hole. Oh, buddy, I'm way ahead of you. I became fascinated with those guys a couple years ago, man. I just There's just so many cool ones yet to be discovered, you know? Anyway, got some really, really nice red-nosed green tiger barbs. Now this is the boss here. You see this dude in the middle? He's all green. That's the tank boss. That's Popeye. He's missing an eye, and he's super mean. He keeps everyone else in line. He's not from this batch. He is not for sale. He's actually my fish. See him there? He's as mean as a snake. He keeps the other ones in line, the youngins, them foreigners. Okay, guys. So what else can we look at? What else is cool? Let's look at some super blue carry tetras. People seem to like those. I love them. They're cool. Check these out. Let's move this light a little bit further forward. There we go. How about that, huh? Oh, that reflection is killing me. That stinks. There we go. That's better. They're really hard to film. They just will not stop moving. They're like Danios. Talk about these fish a little bit here. The super blue carry tetra. Why are they super blue? Let's talk about that. Well, they're supposed to be called the blue carry tetra, really. But what makes them super blue is that through selective breeding, you see the females, like there's one right there, a small one, kind of in the back, swimming away. The females really don't have any blue color naturally to speak of. But through selective breeding, they've gotten these fish. The females are just as every bit as blue as the males are, and that's what makes them the super blue. On top of that, they were able to intensify the blue coloration. They were also able to get the females to pick up the color as well. That's what makes them super blue carry tetras. All right, let's look at some more apistos. Apistogramma erythrura. These guys are cool. I like that black stripe that goes down them and then crosses their eyes and hits their nose. That's just such a cool fish, man. This is obviously a male, as is both of these with the red tails. Come on, focus, camera. There we go. Apistogramma erythrura. They used to call this fish Apistogramma sp. mamore because it was discovered in the Mamore River, legend has it. It has since been described successfully, and it is now Apistogramma erythrura. Look at this little dude. Buddy, you've gotten plenty of food today. You do not need no mo. And this guy is one of the tank bosses. There's two of them. Next, cardinal tetras. Let's check those out. These are tank bred by master breeders in the Czech Republic. I decided to bring them in and give them a try, and they are just awesome. Very, very good coloration, very hardy fish. As cardinal tetras go. I mean, you know that they're difficult fish to ship no matter what. They don't necessarily travel well, but these have been really solid. All right, let's look at another apisto. What do you say? Apistogramma viejita 2. Apistogramma viejita 2. This is type 2. I think it's actually, I'm sorry, not type 2, it's species 2. This guy. He is proud. Another male. Plenty of females in here. That's great. It's a good sign. It's a really large female back there. She's going to make a lot of babies for somebody. All right. So I showed you guys, the first Apisto that I showed you guys was the Apistogramma hungslowii. This is, next, we'll look at Apistogramma hungslowii, the red gold variety. It's the same species, just selectively bred to be much more gold and to have a lot of red overlaid in it. See how gold the heads are on these guys? Again, something about the Apistogramma hungslowii, they're really friendly. They'll come right up and want to hang out with you. Here are some cocutoides, red gold variety. Apistogramma cocutoides red gold. They have that signature kind of ripply fin edges that is part of the breed. There's a big guy here. Definitely the tank boss. So again, we're going to be opening up the website Friday next week. Friday next week. Not only will we be opening the website back up, we will be doing a pressure hour, but you'll have to tune in to see what it's for. Here's some rainbow shiners. These guys are cool. Cool. I really wish I had brought in a whole lot more of these, but that's all I could get. I actually wiped them out whenever I bought these. I bought every last rainbow shiner they had. Well worth it. We have a lot more fish we could show you. But I need to get over here and see how much chat I'm missing. Actually, have a look at the time. I can't run over tonight. I have stuff to do. Wow, look at that. We have a few minutes left. Let me switch on over to the main camera. Hey, there we go. Okay, guys. Let's see what we see. Well, thank you very much, Candy Overhauls. Looks like we have a little bit of troll action. I appreciate you smashing them trolls, Candy. We don't put up with that kind of nonsense here. That person is gone. Thanks to Candy. Now, oh, you know what? Let me fix the mic. Hey, how about that? Okay, I think that's going to be better. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, dear. Okay, scrolling up and seeing if I have missed anything. Comment here from Natural Aquariums. Natural Aquarium says, cardinals can live a long time for such a small fish. Had a few that have made it over 10 years. Wow, that might be a record. I don't think I've ever had any that lasted 10 years. That's awesome, though. Natural Aquariums, you're going to have to share your secret sauce with us. Ooh, nice. A comment here from Mainly Bettas. Mainly Bettas says, my beautiful girlfriend told me she didn't care how many tanks I get. We're buying a house together right now. Got her a tank to set up for shrimp for Christmas. Oh, man. Good man, good man. That's excellent. That is a good girlfriend. One that doesn't care how many tanks you have in the house. Excellent. Let's see. Okay, I am seeing some questions now. Sorry, it took me a while to get up. W. Marion asks, wow, what was the source for the Gularis? I imported them from a source in the Czech Republic. That is in Europe, obviously. The farm, I'd have to look that up, actually. I'm not sure about the actual source, because the source that I like to go to in Europe, well, one of three main, actually four sources in Europe that I like to go to. This one is a very large source and acts not only do they breed tons and tons of fish in-house and sell them wholesale, they also act as an intermediary for other smaller farms, farms that do, let's say, just guppies. And there's another farm that does just Lake Victoria cichlids, and another farm that's just the Malawi farm. You know what I mean? They kind of act as intermediary for those farms that aren't big enough to run their own operations. So often I have to look up to be sure, like, oh, wait a minute, where did this come from? Is this in-house or is this out? But definitely I brought them in from the Czech Republic. Peplin Creek Aquatics here with a question. Is there any chance of getting gold and roseline barbs? Well, I can certainly have a look. I will certainly have a look at that. And if I can get them, I'll get them in. I got a question here from Mainly Bettas. Oh gosh, this is going to be a hard one. If you could choose one fish and one fish only to keep, what would you choose? Oh man, that is hard. That's hard. One fish and one fish only. Gosh, I don't know if I can answer that. I'm leaning right now. I mean, it changes as, throughout the year. I kind of get crazy about this thing and then that thing. Right now, it'd be Apistos, for sure. I've got a bad case of Apisto madness, which is quite handy because the market is very, Apistos are very popular on the market right now, which is, that alignment is welcome. I would say right now Apistos, but man, the old school aquarist in me, I mean, looking back at me as a little kid when I started keeping fish, I'm tempted to say guppies. I know, but we tend to go back to where we started, I think, for comfort. And it started with guppies, and from there, angelfish and discus, breeding those and that sort of thing. I'm tempted to say guppies, man, because it's not hard to produce tons and tons more guppies. It's just not. They just kind of produce themselves. So, it might be guppies. I don't know. That's a very good question, though. I'm just doing a quick scroll up. Anthony's Fishy Friends with a comment, my guppies. Yes, Anthony's Fishy Friends, as well as Chattanooga Ed. Both of you guys, I've been holding your fish for you, as I said I would. And I am going to make plans to send those guys out to you next week. Next week we'll have a package going out to Anthony's Fishy Friends, as well as a nice package going out to Chattanooga Ed. So thank you for being so patient, guys. It has been a crazy holiday season. Not shipping or sending anything during Christmas was definitely the right thing. Definitely the right thing to do. Yes, W. Marion here says, keep the Apisto madness. These are the fish you are looking for. Yes, indeed. Connie Woolley here with a great question. Will you start shipping FedEx or UPS versus USPS? Yes. Yes. I have a FedEx account. I have a FedEx rep. I've been on the phone with my rep at least a couple times, 2 or 3 times. And We have some not bad rates, but we are definitely hammering away at getting those rates even lower for FedEx standard overnight anywhere in the country. I don't want to talk too much about it right now because I have some big plans. If I can get those rates low enough, I want to work it in to where I can bring you guys some really great deals that should excite you. I hope it will excite you when I'm able to speak about it. Guys, I think we are just about out of time. Yeah, Paul Sotero there with a comment. Apistos are non-existent in any stores in my area. Yeah, I understand now that I have a shop. It's not completely done yet. We're building it out. We are selling and slinging fish online for sure. And I get it now why a lot of shops just do the easy. You know, platies, guppies, mollies, goldfish, feeders, few shrimp, snails, call it a day. Not that there's anything wrong with those fish, but there are so many other interesting fish out there that if you just put in a little bit of extra effort, a little bit of extra, you know, elbow grease, sometimes a lot of extra elbow grease, you can locate some amazing species that people are just dying for. It just takes a little bit of extra work, just a little bit of dedication, and that's what we've done here. Guys, I am going to stop the shameless self-promotion. I am going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much. If you have not yet subscribed to me, would you please consider doing so? It really helps me out. I say it every stream, or at least I try to remember to say it every stream. Please like, share, and subscribe. Guys, I wish you all a fantastic new year, and I wish you peace, love, and nothing but happy fish keeping. We're going to see you next Friday here at Redfish Bluefish, 8 p.m. Pacific. That's 11 p.m. Eastern. Remember, next live stream, we do pressure hour and we turn the site back up. So next live stream should be one heck of a jolly good show. Take care, guys, and we'll see you next time.